Tina.
I'm here. I'm just checking the volume.
Hey, Queen. No, I was trying to check it again. I thought the echo was okay. Cool.
Oh, you are echoing big time.
Hey, I'm gonna drop out. Come back in.
Okay.
Okay.
I know some of you all are waiting on us, wondering why are we on the stage talking about some this, that, and the other. And I'm like, y'all know how YouTube is. Okay, there we go. Not that focusness. So glad that you all have made it out. I'm appreciative of all of you all that have come into the space. If you would bear with us, because we've been having a couple of technical difficulties. I think YouTube is trying to have a way with us today, but that won't be the case for very long. I most certainly don't want to belabor the time, but I'm trying to wait on my co-host to pop back in, as she will in just a few seconds. But I thank you for your patience with us. I'm most appreciative. But let me at least acknowledge the chat, those of you all who have come in. Greatly appreciate you, Lala. You being the first one to come in this evening.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
I see you, Antonise.
I hear you.
Okay. Did you get rid of the echo? You still hear
No,
it?
it's still there. It's cool. We're gonna go with it. If y'all can hear me, I'll work through it.
Yeah, it's going back. Do you have the YouTube app open? Well, the way it's echoing, it's hard to understand you.
Okay, no, I don't got it open. I have it open, but it's on my other phone. It's not connected with this one. I don't know why.
Do you have two devices? Okay, are you using a headphone headset?
No.
Or you?
They at the house. Remember, we was out.
Is it coming through?
Oh, go ahead.
I ain't trying to tell all your business or nothing, but is it coming through? Are you using a Bluetooth at all?
No, my Bluetooth is turned off. Okay, I'm about to. I don't want to mess up the show. I'm gonna stay on mute until I get to the house. Per the GPS, we'll be there in 34 minutes, but that's the majority of the show. So it sounds weird when I'm talking. I mean, it sounds weird on my end.
It's echoing. The
Okay.
feedback is echoing. When you talk, it says it twice in a row.
Oh yeah, that's how it is. So it's kind of hard for me. I feel like somebody keep over talking. Okay, I'm gonna jump off. I'll log back on when I get home. Or if I go on mute, do it still do that?
No, not when you're on mute. Only when you speak. Because it's picking up from somewhere. Is anyone else listening to you on their device?
No, it's only me, my boo, and the car. The girls rode back with my in-laws, so it could be quiet in the car.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on 1 second. Yep, I still hear it. Yeah, because you know how there's a delay? When you speak, I hear you in real time on the device. But when it replays through YouTube, I hear the echo.
Okay. I don't know why it's doing it because I only have one open. I'm gonna hang up. I'll drop off. I'll text you when I get home. But I'll join in the chat meeting. Unless I just go on mute.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna move forward. Thank you, all of you, for your patience. I appreciate you all for coming in this afternoon, this evening, tonight. I see that we have people in both chatments. Look like it's the same. I see you, Yolanda. I see you, Lala. Also see you all here. Micah, I see you. I wanted to acknowledge your presence. Appreciate you being here tonight. Okay. So what I want to do now is just get this show on the road. Mia J, I also see you. I don't want to ignore you because I have seen you. Was looking at you in the chat just a second ago. But I appreciate you coming out today. And we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Intentionally Random broadcast, where the topics are intentionally random and randomly intentional. This is a December to remember. This month is dedicated to reflection, introspection, inspection, and redirection as we enter into the space where the closeout of the year is imminent and new year is stretching in anticipation of our arrival. Tonight's topic is integrity. We will be taking a trip down memory lane to revisit some of the whys behind our current actions, disposition, fears, and insecurities, as well as dedication, resilience, resolve, and revolution as we wrap our minds around the things that we wanted and did not want and brought clarity to consciousness. So join us as Anthony's Too Real and yours truly, Tina Mofa Show, as we attempt to continue to conquer the conquests of this holiday season with style, flair, and a touch of grace, with a glad heart and an attitude of gratitude. If you will, lend us your ears, your hearts, and a little bit of your undivided attention as we attempt to jingle these bells of brilliance, deck these halls of dedication, and get this new year into gear with a glance of yesterday's Yelp review. So, let's step into the real. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I most certainly am appreciative of you all's presence. I appreciate you all's patience with us. I know that when it comes to these type of things, there could be so much going on as it pertains to attempting to do our due diligence and attempting to um, bring light to these subjects, you always have something um, that tries to dissuade you from going forward, dissuade you from doing the things that you need to do. Thank you, Lala. I appreciate that. Cute thumbnail. Thank you. Thank you. I have to credit that to Anthony's. Anthony's goes in there, and I can't decorate to save my life. I'm not. I will hire someone to decorate, but I myself cannot. And so, when it comes to things that you see as it pertains to design and things of that nature, of course, it is in fact Antony's Too Real that does those things. But I appreciate all of you all that have shown up to the space tonight. Um, I want to say greetings and salutations. Welcome to the chat, Mr. All of you all, as you come in, all of you all that have come in to the space. Again, I want to acknowledge Lala, Yolanda, um, Micah, all things with Mia J. I don't know why I have to read the whole thing like that, um, but those of you and Antonice, of course, who is here with us. I know you just see my face at the moment, but Antonice is here with us, and she's getting herself situated. But we're going to move forward as it pertains to trying to talk about integrity, which is something that she and I had been discussing, not necessarily ad nauseum, but we did have a moment today where we were able to talk about these things as it pertains to just living out who you are unapologetically, living out who you are, um, being who you are, doing what you do. Um, for others to see, being your authentic self, and on top of that, also um being who you are and doing the things you're supposed to do behind closed doors. um Anthony says shout out to Canva. I know that's right. Because Canva, when you use that, it definitely helps you out. And we need a promotion, matter of fact, but since we're using their platform, I guess we can go on and get them a shout out. But yes, she was using Canva in order to put those things together. Um, Lady J, I see you. Kiss from Jay is in the house. I appreciate you. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the chat, Miss. So glad that you're here tonight with us um, in support. Um, if I could say yes, and there are two chapters. So if you see someone and um, you don't recognize, or if you hear someone's name but you don't see them in your chats, please know that there is more than one chat that is up, the vertical as well as the horizontal. I see you, Coffee. I appreciate you for showing up tonight. Um, Thank you. I appreciate you so much for you sharing the space with us. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. Um, Hello, Tina and chat. Tina, you have the longest playlist ever. Been running. Well, hopefully you're able to get something out of it. A coffee. Definitely appreciate you. This is one of those that is hilarious. I don't know if I could ever listen to myself talk that long, but uh, so be it. It's there, and I'm so glad that you're checking it out. But for those of you all who are in this space, the reason why we chose integrity, um, doing what is necessary, doing what's right behind closed doors. It's one of those conversations that I've had to do some digging on. I've had to do um I've really had to take a moment to do some self-discovery. I've had to take a moment to dive into why do I do what I do. I've had to dive into um what is it that causes me to be the way that I am whether I'm on stage or whether I'm behind closed doors. And it's something that a lot of people don't really take into consideration as it pertains to integrity, because we expect integrity sometimes in our marriages. We want our partners to be forthcoming. Um, and a lot of times, what tends to happen, thank you, Lala. I see you. What tends to happen is we can have an expectation of integrity as it pertains to other people, but not always do we look at ourselves and begin to question, am I who I authentically am, or am I representing something that needs tweaking to show even more of who I am, show more of my own personality, and not just reflect the things that I've experienced or been through, because a lot of times that is exactly what happens. What you see is the culmination of a bunch of experiences that brought on different fears, that brought on different insecurities, that brought on different thoughts, perceptions about life and about relationships as it pertains to others. And so when it comes to integrity, not always do we take a moment to consider, how can I show up better for myself? How can I show up better for other people? And not just how can I show up better for other people, but when it's all said and done, when the lights turn off, who am I? Who am I? Fantastic. I see you. I appreciate you coming into the chats. Greetings and salutations. As always, we appreciate your um, support and coming out tonight. Anthony's, you've made it back to the stage. How are you?
Is it still an echo?
I no.
Okay.
Oh, let me see. Because you haven't, you know that there is a because there is a delay. I don't hear an echo. I hear
So
somebody
I
in the
still
background
have a
saying,
plate
"Yeah," but I
in.
don't hear. No, I don't hear an echo. I don't see your face yet, but I don't
You
hear an
don't hear the
echo.
echo?
I'm sorry, what you say, Anthony's? Oh, in the chat they said they hear an echo.
Okay, thank you, Chad. All right, I'm going to try something else. I'm so sorry.
Okay, it says it's echoing. Oh, I heard it then. Okay, well that's all right. We still gonna move forward. We're gonna move on. We can find out um exactly. I don't know exactly what's going on today. Um, but what I can say is it's okay. It is quite all right. We still gonna tackle this topic of integrity. Because the devil won't win today. I was praying about this earlier. Um, okay, I got to get that out of my ear. The playback is so delayed that when I'm talking, it throws me off because I'm hearing me repeat back to myself as if I didn't just say it 10 seconds ago. But I see you, Janice. I appreciate your presence. Thank you for coming out. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. As always, I appreciate you supporting us in our endeavors on this channel. But we're talking about integrity. And I say we because eventually my co-host is going to get stable and be able to pop up without the echoing. But but until then, we're still going to dive into the conversation as it pertains to um, integrity. Um, One thing that I've had the privilege of doing is doing some reflecting, some deep reflecting, with some wise counsel. Um, and I was able to come to the conclusion that I had some issues that stemmed from very early on in life. I don't necessarily like to piggyback on always on, oh, this traumatic thing happened in the past, or this thing happened in the past and that's why I am the way I am all these decades later. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times when we don't haven't been through therapy, or we haven't taken the time to discover the different things that plague us, there have been many occasions where we don't know why we acting the way we're acting. We don't know why we have the outlook that we have on life. We don't even take the time to discover what are the things that causes our hangups, that causes us to falter in certain areas over and over again, not just creating a habit, but becoming character. Or and sometimes it takes a moment to be able to um oh Lord. Oh, hold on. You said Nightbot cutting up. Let me take care of Lord Jesus. Hold on. I'm finna here we go. Cause I'm gonna need Nightbot to cut that out today. We don't even have that kind of traffic coming through him here. With Nightbot over here always. You know what, matter of fact, Lala, I noticed that Nightbot times you at every time you try to show some love. But you don't have to worry about him now because I timed Nightbot out. Um I may have to rethink using Nightbot, but as we were, thank you all for letting me know. Um, that's just downright terrible. Um, but back to what I was saying. Everyone does not necessarily have the privilege to go back and find out the reasons why they have some of the issues that they have. Um, they have some of the actions that they take nowadays. I was able to sit down and have a moment of reflection as it pertains to my past. And had to recognize that not only, and I know it's coined in nowadays because you a lot of times you have to use YouTube terminology, but I have had mommy issues and I've had daddy issues. I just discovered recently that I had daddy issues. I had no idea. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until, and I must give a shout out to Danielle, just Danielle 365, who had us Friday praying, and it was given to us to be praying about healing. And as I was led in the prayer um about as I was led in the prayer about healing, one of the thing one of the things that I noticed was I wasn't praying about the things that I actually needed healing from. Hello, Stick. I see you. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chatmas. I'm so glad that you were able and no, you are not late. I'm glad that you were able to make it out tonight because I'm about to tackle somewhat of a heavy topic, but not really. I'm just talking about integrity and doing the what's right behind doors. But I wanted to do a little bit of unearthing as it pertains to why we do the things that we do or why we see the things that we see in other people. Um, but again, I was giving a shout out to Danielle who had us specifically praying about healing. And as I was praying about healing and the things was coming to mind, I noticed that I was praying for things concerning everyone else. But I was not praying about the things that was concerning me. And sometimes it is so easy as if you've ever been in ministry or if you've ever been in a place where you've been a caretaker or caregiver or what have you, you know that there are times where you find yourself so busy trying to do so much for other people that you neglect to do the things that you need to do for yourself as it pertains to rest. You're making sure, did you make the kids go to bed on time? You're making sure that maybe the lights are off, or you don't have a bunch of loud playing things, when you have a spouse or a significant other at your house and they need to get rest for the next day. But here it is, you're so busy, you doing all of the things that you fail to get rest yourself. So while everybody is nestled up and ready to go into their fourth watch of sleep, here it is, you just laying, putting your head to the pillow. And sometimes, and I was reminded of that Friday as I was praying with Danielle and Yolanda, Family Fund. Shout out to her, who's in the chat as we speak. Um, I was noticing that I was praying, but I had not gotten to the point where I was actually praying the things that concerned me. I'm over here praying for uh, heart ailments, cancer, and just all of the things, the different mental um, issues and emotional issues and whatnot. And at some point, I was like, "But God, you can heal us, the ones that are praying, and not to feel like we have to be left out." And I remember praying that specifically, mainly because I just was noticing, I'm like, I'm all over the place because of something I'm avoiding. I'm avoiding asking for healing. I'm avoiding asking for help. I'm avoiding asking for the things that I need, not just from God. And that was a reflection of how I am in real life, that sometimes I can find myself so busy doing things as it relates to other people that I don't take a lot of time to tap in as it pertains to maybe my own mental health or maybe my own well being. I mean, outside of, yes, I go to the doctor, and I do the regular things. Um, I would say a normal person would do as it pertains to taking care of my own body or what have you. But it's the thing of when you have a real issue, when you have underlying issues, when you have problems that supersede that which can be seen. How often have I been willing to say, hey, I need help? I'm struggling because I'm grieving. I'm struggling because I'm dealing with some insecurities and I'm trying to face them head on because I have areas of pride that keep popping up. How often um, have I had issues that I just did not talk about, not necessarily because of me not trusting the people that are in my life that I can talk to, but it's more so about the fact that I had grown accustomed to not saying anything. I had grown accustomed to not talking about the things that actually affect me. And I was able to come to the conclusion that it's due to some of the compartmentalization that I had been doing. I remember growing up when I was younger. Mm, I see you. Had a mental breakdown last year. Yeah, that'll force you to get some help in situations like that. Let me pause because I do want to read the chat because I know that you all a lot of times have something um, that you all have said something that is so apropos for the discussion. Um, Anthony said, yes, that is so true. We will make sure everyone is okay, but overlook ourselves. Yes, indeed. Um, yes, we have to take care of us. We are just as important, said Brit Family Fund. Um, Elevated, I appreciate you. I see you in the chat, miss. Thank you for your presence. As always, it is invited. And you are most certainly welcome to the Chapmans. Greetings and salutations. Um, But I thought about the things that I had been through when I was younger, where I had an incident where my mother was married at the time, and the man that he was married to, he ain't horrible, but it was one of those things of how he was. We have a tendency to raise others, our children or our stepchildren, like we were raised. Only could pass down what we know. And I remember specifically, and those of you all who had raised in the household of things like this, you've heard things like, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. I had one of those instances where a person startled me, scare me, or walk up and hit me, like, what you doing, and me trembling in fear would create a reaction. Well, me and my younger sister at the time was going through this. And what would happen was she would cry and then would turn around and be pilloried with even more insults of, you going to basically get a whooping or, stop clowning or, stop crying and all this, that, and the other. And while I may have been just as hurt as my sister was, I learned very early on to stuff those emotions because the um I didn't want the consequences of what was to become behind my tears. It was bad enough that I was already scared. It was bad enough that I was already embarrassed, or I was already feeling whatever way I was feeling in that moment because of what happened, or in pain, even, because sometimes, you get hit upside your head because, something you didn't do right, and while it may just have been a tap, it still was enough to hurt my feelings as a kid, enough to make me cry, but I wouldn't. And so I would blink back the tears. I would, try to think of anything under the sun to keep me uh, cool, calm, and collected, and able to continue um, as it pertains to whatever it was I was being told to do or told I wasn't doing correctly. Um, Me and Jay said, for me, I just have to separate myself from what or who I think is the problem. For a long time, I didn't know it was me. Wow. Whew. Yes, indeed. Anthony said, wow, that's a bar. We can only pass down what we know. Yes. Yes. That's why it's so important to have therapy a lot of times, which is something that Danielle promotes all the time. While she may not be uh, your clinical professional, I can't remember. I can't quote it. As many times as I've heard her say it, I can't quote it to save my life. But in this moment, but yes, sometimes we need a clinician or a therapist or someone to be able to help us because we never know how much needs to be unearthed with the things that we've experienced, especially being young. Oh, Mia J, I've been there, and yes, you summed it up perfectly. Um, yes, therapy is absolutely awesome. Yes, yes, certainly when you had the right therapist at that. Um, but from that instance that I was just describing about, being young and uh compartmentalizing my feelings because I didn't want the backlash of it, it created a super persona of strength, a super persona of stoicism. I got to a point where I was young and was known for being at funerals and never crying. As a matter of fact, I can even recall a time when I was at my father's funeral. When I was younger, I was 16 at the time, and my father passed. And when I was there, I didn't cry. As a matter of fact, I was laughing, not at the funeral itself, but at different things that was going on. The preacher had a lisp or something, or he said something funny, and I just found it hilarious. And I had my sister laughing too. But when it was time to close my father's casket, my sister snapped, as she should, because that's our father. But she was holding on. She was like, not my daddy, and all of that just went through the whole 9 yards. But me, on the other hand, I sat there as stoically as possible, not even wanting my eyes to water because I didn't want anyone to see me as being weak. I was trying my best to be strong, but it was breaking me on the inside. And I was becoming angry. I was becoming angrier and angrier with God. Um, because I wasn't raised with my father. I didn't live with my father. I would go and visit him during some summers. And I was like, I had some tumultuous time prior to his death, but right before he passed, like maybe a few months before he passed, we were able to make amends. And right after that, he passed away. And so it was then where, because of that anger of not being able to spend the time, and when we finally did make amends, he left, and I was angry with God because of that. Well, fast forwarding later on, um, I can say that because of that, and several other different instances, some things I'll get into, some things I won't. But because of several other different instances, what ended up happening was that taking on that persona of being strong. And coupled with that, people saying, "Oh, Dana, she's strong. She can handle anything. That girl never cries," you know. And because those were the accolades, I wanted to be known as strong. I wanted to be known as someone who was not phased by anything. It could take on anything. But of course, that was a whole lie because I felt everything. I just didn't express it. Um, Tiff's take one. I see you. I had to slow that name down so I could say it correctly. But I am so glad that you made it to the space. I always appreciate seeing you. Um, Anytime you come in to support, uh, thank you for coming out. Welcome to the Chapmans and greetings and salutations to you. Um, Again, but that's one of those things where I consider um those things that I had experienced and how when by the time other people came along and was saying, "Oh, Tina is so strong," I took it as a compliment, and it made me double down and not want to show any emotions then. And so I went a great deal of my life being acting. Let me say, not let me take away the being, acting stoic. I went the majority of my life acting like nothing fazed me. I went the majority of my life acting as if nothing hurt me, nothing bothered me, nothing uh, um, would make me cry, nothing would have me emotional. Mia J said, I feel you on that, but I've learned over time people don't check on the strong ones. We need checking on too. Yes, but my problem was I was coined strong when in fact that acting strong was no more than a survival tactic that turned into a caricature of who I really was. Um, the tip said, "Oh my God, that is the reason why I hate the word strong. I'm strong because I have to be, not necessarily because I want to be. I'm strong because I have to be, not necessarily because I want to be." And that's the thing about, yes, Anthony's. Yes, it will make you want to act even stronger. Yes. And that's what happened to me. You know, I wasn't able to be honest because I had been in the habit of just stuffing my emotions. So much so to the point where I didn't know how I felt about things. There were things that I liked that I didn't know I liked anymore because I didn't want people. Oh, and let me fast forward to prison because while I hate talking about how I went to jail 4 years, 5 months, 13 days. Well, and I don't mean to say jail. I was in jail 10 days. I went to prison for 4 months, 4 years, 5 months, 13 days. And in that time, there was no showing of emotion. You can't allow a person in that particular environment to know what you liked because they would exploit it. What you didn't like because they would exploit that as well. If it was something that bothered you, they would exploit that and try to use it against you. And so being in how I was came up with that whole stuffing my emotions, acting as if I didn't need anyone, acting as if um acting as if I don't need anyone was the very thing that landed me in the place that I landed as it pertains to prison. And the whole thing of doubling down of the thing that they were calling, well, I considered an accolade because people were calling me strong, ended up being the very thing that was taking me under in so many different situations because I was strong and because um, I didn't voice what I needed. I didn't voice what I really needed to the point where I didn't receive hugs. I didn't receive embrace. So much so to the point where I didn't want it anymore for a while. I'm still one of them people where, I don't like being touched. Don't be touching me unless I gave you permission to touch me. I don't want to hold hands. Don't touch my hair. I don't want no hugs. I don't want none of that unless I've given you the permission to do so um, at will. But with that is the thing that I consider in as it relates to the whole thing of men. And I'm touching on this specifically because I basically was raised like a boy or like a man in that regard. And when I say like a boy or like a man, I'm just talking about in regards to the thing of it was applauded when I was strong in the face of terrifying situations. I didn't show emotion in the midst of areas where I should have been grieving harshly, grieving terribly, or just grieving a little bit, because my feelings was hurt. There are times my feelings get hurt. My feelings still get hurt. Are they worth crying and belly aching and not being able to move forward? No. But at the same time, I've had to learn how to say that hurt my feelings. I don't particularly like it to this day, but it makes me think about how so many men and so many boys have been told not to cry. You're not a real man if you're somewhere crying. Boys don't cry. Well, I took on that mindset of I'm going to be the strong one in the family. I'm not going to cry, no matter what's going on. I'm talking about I lost my father and did not grieve his passing for 10 years. I was 26 years old before I was able to cry about the loss of my father. How often have we had things in our life that were tragic that we never really grieved because we were trying to be strong? How many times did we have situations in our lives that caused us to take on the hardened exterior? And while that may not be the case with everyone, but how many times have we acted like we were stronger than we actually were, as women, as men? Things bother men too. And they are the ones that, and I remember having this conversation with someone. I don't know if I want to disclose all of that, but it's on the internet. I remember having a conversation with someone, a content creator, about how men have emotions too. And they were explaining that they don't have emotions. I don't let things get to me, and this is that and the other. And I remember saying to them in that live, I said, men have emotions, they just maybe express them differently. Now, in the case of those who don't express anything at all, something devastating happens and you act like it was, the apple fell off the table. I'm like, that's why you have so many men that are having um heart attacks. They're having strokes, they're passing out, things are happening to them. Their body is reacting from putting up a front of being strong when grief, sadness, when things hurting you, pain is part of the human existence. It's part of the human experience. But because there have been so many labels placed on people, and the individual ended up later on, after that conversation, experiencing a heart attack. And it bothers me because I think about myself now, and that I had lived one of those lives where I was taking on so much and doing so much as it pertains to trying to be strong and not letting anyone see me sweat. And because they even do that in the church sometimes. Don't let the devil see you sweat. Well, when am I supposed to start sweating then? Because I don't even know where he is. If I'm at home by myself crying, when when is this supposed to happen? It sounds good. It sounds like a great sentiment, but how much of it can we actually um put into practice without it being damaging to us? Andrew, I see you. I'm so glad that you were able to make it in here. Welcome to the Chapman's. Greetings and salutations. As always, um, as a man, I appreciate your presence because that's strength alone in the space with us. Um, and thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Again, it's one of those things that I think about as it pertains to um, how often have we taken on things and allowed um, our sets of circumstances and the people around us and the environment that we've come up in to cause us to behave in such a way that is inauthentic to who we really are. With that being said, and it has taken me quite a while to unpack all of that, I come to the place of who are we behind closed doors? Who are we as it pertains to integrity? Sometimes the integrity is not just about pointing the finger at somebody else and wanting them to be loyal or wanting them to be honest with us or wanting them to sometimes we can want our children to be integral as they go to school. I expect you to go get good grades, do the best you can, don't make a fool out of the family name while you're at school. Can you be integral and do that even though your parents aren't there and your older siblings may not be there or you don't have any siblings at all? Can you take care of yourself and come back without a bad report? Integrity. um Miss Tony, I see you. I appreciate you coming in um and sharing with us, hanging out with us tonight. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. And I see you as well, Yvette. Thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome to the Chapmans. Um, but back to what I was saying as it pertains to integrity. When it comes to integrity, one thing that I think about is we can always want someone else to be integral. But how often do we point the finger at ourselves and begin to ask ourselves, how integrous or how integral, I said integrous, how integral am I? Have I said the quiet thing out loud as it pertains to myself? Because it's easy to point the finger and be the whistleblower for someone else's life or circumstances. But how often do we take the time to say, hey, I'm not as strong as I portray to be? Or, hey, I don't got it like that. I can't be out here splurging or, with these big rims and these gold chains. I need to pawn everything. How often have we seen things in our own lives oh, I really love him, but you really know that you got with him because he has some money, or you with that woman and you swearing on a stack of Bibles. Oh, we gonna get married. You just because I love you. When what you love is her backside. What you love is the fact that uh, she could throw that thing in a circle, but um, and the thing about it that I consider, um, Antonice, I see you. Hey, Yolanda, could you do me a favor and get a hold to Jimbo Slice when they come into the chat? If you're in that chat, if you see it at all, I need my mods. If you can get a hold to Jimbo Slice, and those of you who can and will, could you please block him as soon as possible? Yeah, because I got another troll. Well, it's actually the same troll. I was wondering if they was gonna come up today, but you know what? This is the thing about integrity. As it
Am
pertains
I
to,
echoing?
I had to wait on the chat to see if they heard you because you're not echoing on my end. I got trolls in the chat. Wow. I mean, I'd appreciate it if you didn't do all that. Coming into the space, you could at least said hello and then go with the insults. But hey, we're here. Yes, you're echoing. Elevator said that you're echoing, and I do not know why you do not have a wrench. Let me blue you up
Okay,
right
I'm
quick.
gonna try to log in from my iPad.
Okay. Let me wrench you up right quick. I don't know what that's about, sir. Um, but by all means, I would appreciate it, those of you all who can and will, if you would keep the space as clean as possible. I can let you know right now there is an issue, a standing issue, from an individual who is mentally unstable. And because of the instability of that individual, you may see things in this chat that is unseemly, unseemingly, that is uncanny, uncalled for, and disrespectful in the chats. And normally, you all, as you all know, um, basically, they're not. Um, I just saw them a second ago in my vertical. I don't know where they are now because I know you said something about, but somebody most certainly got a hold to 'em. Wait a minute, what is this? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's in the other one. Oh, yes. Okay, you got them. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Yolanda. Whew. Precious, I see you. Um, welcome to the chat, Miss. Greetings and salutations as always. I appreciate your presence of being here. I forgot that you were a mod too. Um, but yeah, most certainly. Let me go ahead and mod you up as well. If you desire a wrench, let me know. Just put it in the chatments, and I'll make sure that you get a hold to it. But back to what I was saying just a minute ago. Um, as it pertains to this particular situation, which it still fits into what we're talking about as it pertains to integrity. Um, oh, okay. All right. Can you hear? I mean, say something,
It's
Anthony's.
still echoing.
I
Oh,
don't
it
hear an
is. I
echo.
don't know what is going on.
Oh, you hear it. Now I don't hear it.
Yeah, I've been hearing it the whole time, but this is crazy. I'm on a whole new device.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the iPad and now we made it back to that. Hold on. Oh, they
Um,
said yes, echoing. Okay, I'm gonna get in the comments. I don't want to mess up the show. You was doing so well. Ooh, the
oh, it's okay.
transparency is so lit. Okay, I'm just call you when the show is over. I'm sorry to y'all in the chat, Miss. I love you.
Thank you, Anthony's. I appreciate you. Faith Marie Unscripted. So glad to see you here. Appreciate your presence. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. As I was explaining just a minute ago, we currently have, let me say not we, because Anthony's doesn't have anything to do with what's going on. I have a professional troll, which was something that we talked about uh, a minute ago. Yeah, I most certainly want to add you as a mod as well. Get blued up. Let me know. That way we don't have any more issues. Andrew, do you want a wrench? Because I can give you one right now if you would like. Just let me know. What is this? And I can make sure that I get you blued up as well. Get you blued up, get you tooled up as well. Um, Hello, T Brown. Glad to see you. Appreciate you for coming into the chat. Um, Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. I appreciate you so much. Okay, you do want one. I'm gonna make sure that I get you as well. Um, yeah, because this is amazing, if I may say so myself. Um, y'all have to forgive me. To see to see that troll today lets me know that I'll probably be trolled for quite some time. Which is amazing. Um, Too Real, Stick to It said, check your email. If you can hear me, Stick wants you to check your email. Most certainly. T Brown, if you want a wrench, let me know. Just put it in chat, miss, and I'll make sure that I get you as well. But as I was explaining just a minute ago, I have a professional troll from an incident that occurred on another person's channel. I won't name the channel, I won't name the person. However, you will see all kind of troll accounts because of this particular encounter. And so I'm most certainly um understand that you may see some things in this chat. I mean, now we all grown. We've heard profanity before. We've all heard some of the worst things of the worst. And those of you all who visit some of the other channels, we talk about a lot, you know. And when I say we, myself included, now I'll be cussing, but I mean it is if that makes a difference. But most certainly, there's no telling what you may hear, what you may see rather, because you'll only hear my voice on this channel unless you hear Antonice. Mom of three, I see you. I appreciate you for joining the space. Welcome to the Chatmans. Greetings and salutations. And if you want a wrench as well, let me know. Oh, you already got one. I didn't even recognize I already had done it. But yes, back to what I was saying as it pertains to integrity, because that's what we're talking about. Um, mm, I don't know, Andrew. If the person's, I don't know what their name actually starts with. I only know their YouTube handle. And so I don't know if it starts with that letter or not, unless you all know some things that I don't know. Because I haven't been looking that in depthly into it, because I'm just letting the punches roll. I was integral to, after having um, somewhat of an issue with an individual who did not like something that I said. I immediately apologized to the person in that particular encounter. And then I turned around and had a live to publicly apologize so that there wasn't um um to let them know that I was sincerely um sorrowful for what I had done and then apologetic in that manner about those things. But evidently it wasn't enough. There were other people that were there who saw what happened, and so this person is on a trollathon as it pertains to those. Mm, wow, I see you, Andrew. I see what you said. But again, it's one of those things where I just understand that as it pertains to um just being willing to be integral, that even though in me attempting to be integral, to acknowledge where I was wrong, acknowledge that things didn't go the way that either one of us preferred, and acknowledging the fact that I was hoping that we could move forward. Um, and understanding that, I may have to give that person 50 feet, in which I did. I was insulted in my chat during the apology. And then later on, when I was on someone else's live and did a panel, I was insulted again. But not only me at that time, but someone else was verbally assaulted. Well, it wasn't verbally because it's written, but they put something in the chat mess that was disrespectful. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, the Black Love Permissionist, my cousin, has made it into the building. Cousin, the troll that showed up today, and you already know of what had happened from last night. And so we're still having some more of the foolishness today, but we're still talking about integrity. You're doing the thing that you're supposed to do behind closed doors when you think no one is looking. I am Coach Mean Ring. Coach is in the building. So appreciative of your presence. Thank you for showing up, for hanging out with us this evening. Um, wow. Oh. Okay. This is an time to make sure I have any questions or need any. What do you have? Any questions? It says, what do you have? Any questions or need any chance you could send me the time to make sure you have any questions or need any? I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. If you would, Muhammad, first of all, I want to welcome you um, to the space. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. Yeah, elevated. It's getting started already, and so it is what it is. Um, Homebody Trish, I appreciate you for coming into the space. Thank you so much for your presence. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. Want to make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Um, as this thing continues, trying to make sure that I stay abreast of what's going on. Oh wow. But Tina, some people can't handle the truth. And that is true. They can't handle the truth. Mm, oh no. Not oh. YouTube is gonna have to do better about that. It should even be a limit on how many accounts a person should be able to make, especially based on their um the IP address. Something should be able to do something. That is utterly ridiculous. Oh no, Nightbot is in the other one. Oh no. Wait. Um is Nightbot over here cutting up? I don't know what's going on. Hopefully Nightbot came out of timeout. Who untimed out Nightbot? Wait a minute. We having all kind of things happen today. Now I got to go find Nightbot. This Nightbot is cutting up with the people. You all have to excuse. I did not expect all of this. Number one, I did not expect the oh, here we go. And can somebody block, you know what? I'll do it myself. Here we go. Here we go. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna put you in timeout. Because I don't want to block you. I almost didn't um I almost blocked him, but I almost let him roll. Matter of fact, I may just let it roll. I just may. I just might let it roll. Real odds and evens. I appreciate you in the space. All I can tell you all is watch your emojis or whatever because I can't find Nightbot. I don't know where the Nightbot is, where he's consistently timing out people. Um, but what I can say is garbage culprit. I see you. I would say welcome to the Chapmans, but because you're being so disrespectful, it's a bit it happened to Mimi. Oh wow. So it's happening to all of us then. Oh, they're going after all the women. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Um I don't have the space or the bandwidth to deal with that right now. Thank you. I appreciate that me two times. Matter of fact, I'll probably remove Nightbot altogether, especially as many wrenches there are in the chat. Um, but because there are so many accounts that this individual has, I am almost certain that they just gonna have to talk they talk, and I'm gonna have to get some engagement from them because I'm not finna spend my time talking about trolls all night. That's what I won't do. And regardless to what things pop up, I know that I'm not willing to entertain their foolishness. What's going on in the chat? Miss? I have a professional troll that is coming after majority women, maybe a man every now and then, but for the most part, they've come against a lot of women. I've had an issue be okay with someone, and so they cutting up like a pair of scissors, and it's okay. It's all right, quite all right. But greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. I'm so glad that you're here, sharing the space with us tonight. Um, but again, they're looking to have some sort of looking for some kind of attention that I'm not going to continue to give them because I'm trying to move forward with what I've been talking about in this time. They burnt up maybe about 10 or 15 minutes of me just trying to find out who is that and can I block them. Oh, just Danielle, my pastor is in the chats. I can warn you. So glad that you're here. Appreciate your presence. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. We have a major troll that's trolling Danielle, who is trolling my pages or whatever. That's trolling me, has been trolling me since earlier this week. And I think I have a couple of them now because they've ganged up together. And have one account after another trolling everything they possibly can. With that being said, Crystal, I see you. So glad to see you in good spirits. Welcome to the Chatmas. Greetings and salutations. Okay. Yeah, help Lord. Y'all pray for the trolls, y'all. Pray for them. I'm not finna deal with them all night. Pray for them. They need help because they don't know what they're coming up against. They don't know what they're doing. And because I know that they don't know what they're doing, uh I'm not finna go there. There are enough people who know. Maybe they'll tell you, but I'm not finna give them that kind of tension at this point. Yeah, strength beats evil. God beats evil. Yes. And I most certainly agree with you. Strength. The strength of the Lord. I can do all things through Christ that strengtheneth me. Now, everybody might not get that same strength from anyone else, but I most certainly do. Um, and so, with that being said, I want to go back. Um, yes, indeed. I see you. But again, this is one of those. This is one of those times where I just understand how it is so important to be able to understand that in being in the space that you're in, that regardless to what is going on around you, regardless to what is going on in you, we can all come to a place where we begin to recognize the inconsistencies of our own character, the inconsistencies, and be able to be honest about this is not where I want to be. I don't always want to be the strong one. I don't want to wear that mask. I don't always want to act like nothing affects me. I don't always want to act like the things that people do, you know, have no effect. Now, some things affect more than others. I have been very open about the different insecurities that I have. I've been very open about the things that I've struggled with. I've been very open about the things that I've done in my past. And because of that, no one can weaponize it. That's why they have to come in and say something other than what I've done in my past. They have to resort to insults or whatever they can make up on the fly. The battle zone, I see you. I appreciate your presence. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the chat, man. So glad that you're here um, to share the space with us. Um, so my thing is being willing to do the work to find out what's really going on. Because when you don't, for all we know, with the troll that just came into my chat, they could have been a person that someone was looking to be strong all the time. They could have been a person who may have been molested. They could have been violated in some kind of way when they were younger. This could be an individual that suffered abuse from their own parents. This could have been someone that had a hard breakup with someone. They could have been someone who lost a family member that was important to them. You don't know what people go through. But what I can tell you is that sometimes people snap because they didn't get therapy. They snap because they weren't willing to face the things that hurt them in their past. Well, y'all rolling in here today. Mom of three, I don't know if I spoke to you or not. I thought I saw you earlier. And I appreciate your presence. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. Um, I see you, Miss Wanda. Appreciate you for showing up. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. Um, but again, I go back to what I was saying in reference to when people have been hurt early on in life, it carries with them when they don't deal with it properly. What you see as it is represented as it pertains to that troll right now. Hey, kids from Jay, I see you. Appreciate your presence. I thought I spoke to you earlier, but maybe not. Um, Welcome to the Chapmans. Greetings and salutations. Um, and me two times, just in case I did not formally acknowledge you. Thank you for hanging out with us, sharing with us. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Chapmans. I see you as well. Um, but again, it's one of those things that I take into consideration because I've been through it. I've been through those times where I had been so hurt um in so many different aspects, so many ways, by so many different people. I've been let down by people in church. I've been let down by teammates when I played ball. I've been let down by musicians, those that I played with in school, out of school, professionally as well, when I played in churches. Um, that's the thing about it, though, is coming to a space where you begin to examine all of the areas that you've had pain, all of the areas that you've had grief, all of the areas that you have had some kind of something that made you angry, that disappointed you, that made you sad, that made you feel unprotected. It's those areas, it's those things that sometimes we can take and we put it on to mold ourselves and shape ourselves for survival. And that's all it is survival. Trying to survive the moment, trying to survive what we feel in the moment, in the meantime, because no healing has taken place. What I'm saying about integrity is not about pointing the finger at someone else, as I said before, earlier in this live. But it is about taking a moment to look at you. Have you come to the space being who you are? Or is what we see a representative of what you've been through? I'm not saying that you can divorce yourself from your experiences, not by any means. Oh, Yvette said, yes, Tina, they probably have family issues and relationship issues. They have bad problems. Yes. And it happens. It happens. And sometimes people need medication, you know, they need therapy. They need God. Hello. I understand that when it comes to those things, that you have so much pain, so much hurt, that the vitriol, the venom that's being spit at so many different people, it lets me know that this could be any of us. What we see is this could literally be any of us when we don't take care of what's going on the inside. This can be any of us when we allow things and people to cause us to be calcified or to present ourselves as if we've hardened against things that actually hurt us. Mama 3 said, get the help you need or do something to start loving yourself so you don't have to depend on anyone for your happiness. Yes. Sometimes it takes those interpersonal relationships with people, with people. Sometimes it takes being willing to sit down and discuss with someone that's whole. Hold on. Because that's another problem. Sometimes we take our problems to people that have problems. in the same area that we have problems. And they don't have any more insight than you do as to how to get out. I'm not talking about those of you all who are trying to help or get help or seeking help and you're sharing the tools that you have with someone else. The battle zone said, my childhood was not so nice. Divorced 3 times, and my choice is to be the example to others. You can overcome. Most certainly. You can. If you're willing to. You can. Me Too Time says, this is a convo I would like to have one day, but it takes a lot to discuss publicly, but it will show who I am and what I deal with emotionally. I was talking with Anthony's earlier today, and don't think that she's not listening. And she was on the stage, but her thing keeps echoing. So that's why you don't see her. And she keeps hopping in and out. Yeah, cutting, knucking, and bucking. Exactly. But that's the thing. As it pertains to um someone to tell you how to live your life while their life is falling apart. Yeah. And that's not to say that people do not have wisdom. Please, by all means, have some discernment to know the difference. Ask for discernment. Ask for some wisdom because wisdom can be imparted from one person to another individual. However, at least know that some wisdom should be able to be seen in in the individual's life. All of us have hard times at some point or another with one thing or another because everybody ain't necessarily broke. Everybody wasn't raised broke. Everybody didn't have the story of molded bread and eating sweet peas or something. But there are plenty of people who have had experiences emotionally where they've been broken and need to talk to someone. There are plenty of people that have had um, a marriage that was good, but their children drive them up a wall and down the other side of another one. And with that, sometimes we have to take the time to take the time to reevaluate who we are, reevaluate the things that we've experienced so that we don't find ourselves in the same space. Allison, I see you. I appreciate your presence. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Uh oh, I saw it that time. I know I saw it that time. Now I got to go find. Um, hold on. How come I can see it here, but I don't see it in my chat? There you go, right there. Okay, there we go. Now, Allison, you should be able to say whatever is necessary because I just it got Nightbot out of here. Need him to cut that out and stop that, all that foolishness. Andrew said, I have no opinion on the matter of what us humans have been through and how that has shaped our life, character, attitude, personality. Main reason, the pain I've endured. Most would have been hospitalized. Some of us have been through some things that others would see as something that they couldn't imagine having to go through. Yeah, I did. Me 2 times. I unmodded Nightbot because he was cutting up, and I am not going to have him blocking everything Allison and Lala and them be saying. Yes. Um, but again, you don't know what the next person is going through. Just know that it could happen to you. I don't want to stay up here too long because in the midst of Fulu and Nightbot trying to get this stuff going on with Antonice and in her, and not saying that she was disturbing anything, but just not being able to get technology to work with us today. And we'll figure it out after a while. Um, and along with that, the troll that popped in here that has allowed me to actually turn the corner in this conversation as it pertains of integrity. We must be able to tell the truth about ourselves at some point. The truth is, oh, and let me acknowledge now that you're here, if you're still here, because I might be going on in the background. Uh, Matter of fact, just Danielle, are you still here? I just said just Danielle. Danielle, are you still in the chat? Put one in the chat if you're still listening. If you're here, if you're somewhere in the close proximity of the chat, because I want to acknowledge something while you're here. And I know that you would rewind at any given moment. I see you. Thank you. Appreciate your presence. Um, Danielle, you challenged me. And I'm saying this publicly because people need to know that prayer works. Um, and sometimes being connected to the right people help you to heal in places that you have not been able to heal from. I say that because you challenged us to pray concerning healing and pray as God would lead us if we were so led to do so Friday. I didn't know that me praying about healing would send me on a journey as it pertains to healing. So many things have been brought up. So many things have been brought up about how I had not been healed in so many different areas that I was able to take the time to grieve some things, to see some things that I had not seen before, to acknowledge some things that I'd had no idea about. The issues that have been unearthed that allowed me to go through the process of uncovering things that I had compartmentalized for years. Healing has begun. I appreciate you, just Danielle 365, for challenging us as it pertains to prayer. So much so that I was able to receive something myself in the midst of praying for others. And I made mention of this earlier. This ain't no news to these folks, I guess, except for the people that came in a little later. I was able to go from praying for everybody else, and then it changed to me beginning to talk about the things that was going on the inside of me. And then be able, because of that, to pray for others that were in the same vein. And once I got off the live, because I wasn't fit to be snotting and slobbing and going on during the live. The Lord ain't brought me that far yet. I'm on the way, I'm sure. But I was able to come off of there and go seek some actual help, to have some real conversations about the things that was going on with me internally. Thank you for your boldness. Thank you. What in the world? Now I know I put this man in timeout and everything. Yeah. Okay. Um, but I wanted to publicly thank you because people do not have any idea how being up at 3:30 in the morning Central Standard Time, because I know it's 4:30 over there, being up at 3 something in the morning praying has actually taken hold, and I've received direction in how to deal with the things that had been bothering me. I'm walking through the process of deliverance, able to discuss things today that I had not been able to discuss before, and also able to understand from a place not of anger, but understand that I too could have been the troll that was in my channel, going from channel to channel to channel, harassing people, all because I needed healing in areas that I was afraid to admit that I needed healing. Thank you. May the Lord bless and keep you and pour out blessings. Anyway, Andrew said, yet I don't let anything dictate how I treat humans. Neither their actions can change my opinion about self. Let's say they steal from me, I find out. I'll get mad at the moment, but I still will. God, I know you said this a good little while ago. I still will help that person if needed. If I forgive, that's what I do. I forgive. Humans don't realize what that truly means. And that's the thing about it. They don't know what that means. He said again, being able to hold myself accountable and stand on honesty and morals have been the best mindset change I've ever made. Yes, sir. Yes, Lord. He is speaking nothing but facts over here. Nothing but facts. I be sniffing by myself. No, you weren't sniffing by yourself. I just didn't want to do the ugly cry. You know, anytime, Tina, this is what deliverance looks like. Yes, yes, indeed. Um, I'm not finna. I see you, Yolanda, and I'm not finna go there with you either. Um, because nope, I'm not talking to you today, Yolanda. Um, but again, it's one of those things that I realize is that instead of being angry at the man that came in here and said that I look like Biggie Smalls, but they all didn't know what he said. Instead of becoming angry about the statement that was made to me, that was actually pretty funny. If I just gone to tell the truth, because I can see what he's saying, but hey, still, it's the thing of understanding, and that was yeah, it was funny, Andrew. It really was. Um, the thing that I take into consideration as I close, because I'm not going to be up here all night. The thing I consider is the fact that instead of being angry, instead of wanting to retaliate in my fashion, I ain't talking about this stuff on YouTube. I'm not talking about this stuff at all on YouTube. But in the way that I would prefer to retaliate, I realized that I actually can sincerely pray for that man or those men, because there's a couple of them actually that's working together. But I can sincerely pray for them. As a matter of fact, if in closing, I want to pray for those trolls that have gone to all these different chats. Um, and I won't name all of the people who he's popped up in, and all of the people who they have affected, and all that. I'm not going through all of that. Y'all know who you are because you've experienced it in real life. Angie, in real life, I see you. I appreciate you. So glad to see you this evening. We're closing. If you would be kind of rewind, but nevertheless, greetings and salutations and welcome to the Chapmans. But we're about to pray. Those of you all who are not believers in the Lord Jesus Christ, by all means, leave. But I want to pray for them specifically because sometimes pain will still cause you to hurt yourself. And it doesn't always have to be that you're trying to unalive yourself. But sometimes in all of the grief, with all of the pain, with all of the things that they have been through, it is evident to me that they are tormented by some spirit. And with that, thank you all who decided to hang around, but we finna pray. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you. You've been good to us. You've kept us in our right minds, even when we were at the brink of losing it all. Some of us have experienced nervous breakdowns. Some of us have experienced even trying to take our own lives. But God, you've been faithful to bring us this far, and you did not leave us. And for that purpose, we say thank you. Lord, there are people that have come to this space to be, as we would call them, trolls. Just the people that desire to create disturbances. But these disturbances that have been going on, Lord, the past few days, maybe even weeks, have gone beyond anything that any of us want to tolerate. Disturbing the space, causing people to cry, causing people hurt, harm. Maybe even some people may be afraid that they're in danger. But Father, in the name of Jesus, we know you to be all powerful. Not only that, just as it is written in scripture, we know that you're able to send your word. It's not that I need to go and take flight and buy a flight and go somewhere and land somewhere that I'm not supposed to be. But if you send your word, it will change lives. If you send your word, it will touch hearts. If you send your word, you'll bring healing. You'll bring deliverance. And you'll help the person in their time of need, because it is obvious to us that they need help. God, touch their minds today. Touch it right now as we pray. Those of us that are in agreement with this prayer, touch all of those that have been affected by them. Touch all of those whose channels have been affected. Touch, Lord, intervene in every way that you see fit. It's not happening for no reason. But God, we give you glory for intervening on our behalves, and we give you glory for intervening on their behalf, because we want to see them whole. We want to see them whole. We want them healthy. We don't want them to walk around in that kind of pain where they're at the point or at the brink of losing their minds. Help them today. Cast the devil out of the mind in the name of Jesus. And let them be able to find healing wherever they may be able to find it. God, we place them in your hands. And we thank you for what you're about to do on our behalf and theirs as well. And God, we thank you in advance for what you're doing for them, in them, with them, and because of our prayers. It is in Jesus' name we give thanks and praise. Amen and amen. Well, y'all, we've made it to that space. It's the end. I would play some music on out the door, but truth be told, I'm not playing nothing. Um, I don't want to shortchange y'all, but at this point, uh, that felt like benediction. Like we need to sing a hymn and go on out. I ain't singing no hymns, but we most certainly gonna leave this space. Thank you all who have come in, whether you came in at the very end or whether you came and stayed from the beginning. I appreciate you. You did not have to share this space with me. You didn't have to lend your ears. You most certainly didn't have to deal with all of the technical difficulties and the disturbances of this night. But yet you're here. Thank you. I appreciate you. And as I say always, God bless you and good night.